How you guys doing? This is Andrew, FloryPB, and this barrel right here is a blazer barrel. It's for a 2K blazer. This one's a 689 with a tape mod. You can see the piece of tape in there. I don't know if you can see. I don't think I can show that on the camera, but there's a tape mod in there trying to prevent rollouts. Additionally, another thing you can get is there's a dude selling stiffy stock, just carbon fiber tube. This is like 692 though, so it's very big. But we're doing some experimentation with this for blazer barrels. But this stuff is on the money. Like, that is absolutely on the money where it's supposed to be for a blazer. So that's on the money. This is a little bit slim, but I do kind of like that. I got some actual cutting lube on it right now. Brass is very grabby. Oh. I said brass is very grabby. I'll get away with it. I cannot. I got one more drill bit now, the 17 for the biggest boy. Let me get that prepped on here, and we'll get going with that big bastard. That's the scariest one. We're gonna put that down to 18. All right. So I'm doing half turns to keep the weight right on my tailstock feed wheel. And right at the end I kick back a quarter turn just to try to break a chip with this big one. So half a turn, kick it back, grab the bottom, half a turn, kick it back. Try to keep consistent pressure. But if you go too hard, it's just going to grab right in. Trying to squeak. Just past one. Let's remove. Another inch. Lube is good, lots of lube. Everything's nice and cool to the touch still. Because we're deeper, I'm doing 3.5. And then our final push is going to be to right after 4. Right, so we were at 17. Gonna pull this in there one more time. Just check out all the chips out. That was beautiful. Now we're going to ream it to our final. Yep. All right. Well, let's try to ream this nice and All right, we're reamed. That's great. We should be 0.679. Let me grab my mallet. Let's see. This is the last time I'm going to touch this piece here. I'll put a nice chamfer on that, because this is going to be stuck in the barrel. I turned up this plug in Delrin before I did this. It's supposed to be a tight fit, but I don't want to be too tight. Make sure I'm clamped down so I don't destroy myself there. Should put a lube on it, probably. And the reason I'm doing this is because my wall thickness, this is 0.679, but the stiffy's 0.692. So my wall thickness is very small. I might need to relieve this. I'm building up air pressure because it's tight. That's why it's not sliding. Hold on a second. And so the point of this in here is we're going to have a 6 thou wall on this. And to cut that in open air without damaging the brass is going to be, I don't think, possible. So I figured let me press fit in something softer than brass just to serve as a backing. So when I'm cutting this down, I'm not going to mess up myself. I might have made that a little too tight. We'll see. And now I can use a live center on the back end to keep this tighter. Doesn't really matter, but I want like a 1/4 inch ring on the back end here. I'll do that so I can see what I'm doing. That looks nicer. Not a great finish yet, but I'm hogging. So, let's see what we got. 7277. 727. 7265. So we're like a thou out from itself. Just tighten that back up. Which is definitely good, but I'm just going to keep going lighter and lighter now. Because we're going for 6925-ish. We want a light press fit inside the stiffy. Thank you. So I'm going to take 10th thou now. I'm going to do 10th thou passes down. With some lube, help cool it down. It's not that hot per se. It's warm. So I have my finger all over it, so it's not hot. That saw right there. Okay, we're then 6/10 now. Well, that's 7-1. So that will get me another 10th, gets me down to 7-0. We're going to slow down our feed. Just try to put a little less axial. 7074. 707. What do we got here? 4th thou, or 4/10. Interesting. So now I'm really thin. So we're going to kind of do finish passes here. I'm going to do a 5 thou cut. That's going to get me to 702. Another 5 thou, and then a finish cut. 692. All right, that's right where I want it to be. So I'm going to bring this out. Everything there's good. That's good. That was the scariest part. Well, we have a lot of scary parts left, but that was one of the scary parts. So this section, we have to go 1/4 inch, and it's going to be 0.795-ish, 0.793. I think I made one. $905. only thing I noticed is I have a bump on here that's not going to slip in the barrel. Because I need to slip this whole thing into the barrel. So let's just get rid of that. Okay. Let's see. Almost. So maybe I was a little. Could have been a few tenths tighter then. That's not too bad. Oh shit. All right, let's just press this in. That looks great. Well, that looks really good. Okay, I need to cut this off now. I do not want to part at that speed that I was at, but I should have the piece of Delrin in here. Whoop. Okay. So I think that looks pretty smart. Got to deburr that, obviously. I got to pound out that piece of Delrin now. So this is going to be scary. But I made a little slug to pound against. And I'm just going to smack this out with something. Got the Delrin out. Awesome. Look at that. She looks good. We got to hone it now. That would be the last step, but it feels damn good. Let me, before we hone it, let's clean it up. Just want to clean up these rims here. Wow, that feels great. Holy shit. Yeah. We can get you guys to see down in there. Let me... Can I get a light on this? Hold on a second. Do you have a light on you? I don't think so. Sucks. Let's see. Better light. Okay. Let's try to. that's the finish right now. It's a reamed finish, and we will be switching over to a honed finish. But damn, that ain't bad. It's a beautiful thing. So that was a success. Definitely, it's a good looking barrel right now. I feel like that was a success. Definitely a success there. Now we're 679. So we can shoot some real tiny paint. I definitely want to relieve this edge a little more. Wonder if I have... Because the Blazer... can get itself stuck. Or the bolt can get itself stuck. So I kind of want to relieve that edge a little more. And let me hope I don't blow this thing up. All right. We're going to do this by hand. Perfect. Nice transition in now. Should probably do a little more. What that's doing is making a very gradual entrance to the barrel. So in case I don't want this sharp, I don't want this edge to be sharp and hitting the paint or being able to clip a piece of paint. Actually rethinking what I did for the one chamfer. We're gonna that's nicer. Gives us a nice big chamfer in there so the ball can actually push in. Dress it. Oh, I just messed it up. I know for next time this works, but I went a little too far and I caught the, you can see that I went a little too far and I caught the edge of the carbon fiber barrel. Damn. That's okay. This should still be fine, if not a little fragile. Because it machined it smooth. And when I hone it, it's going to hone it fine. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. That's stinks. It's alright. I'm going to set up to hone a little bit, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing with it. So this is a rather fine flex hone. A little honing lube. I'm going to give it a couple passes. Thank you. Alright. Not bad. Pull it out real quick and see. This is my finest. They don't do an amazing job labeling their products, honestly. Yeah, that's much finer. All right, guys. So some final thoughts on this. I think it came out very successfully for what we're trying to do. This particular one, I broke through it trying to make it super smooth, but that would be a 16-inch, 16 and a half inch blazer barrel. And I have played with this actually, and it shot fantastic. Super happy with it. I have rebarreled a very unusable piece of carbon fiber barrel into something that is very usable now. And I think there's more applications than just blazers for this. So, ideas I'm kicking around in my head. One being offering a blazer barrel kit, because Palmer's is, I'm pretty sure, done. And blazers are super cool. And I think they deserve a little bit of product support going forward. And maybe if I have some time, I'll throw my hat in the ring on doing a couple barrel kits of these, different sizes, different diameter ends for you. And the other thing I'm thinking of, again, it comes down to timing. I don't have the time right now to do it, but if I eventually get the time later, instead of freaking a barrel, this is a pretty semi-permanent solution to reduce the size of a barrel, particularly on things that you can't freak. Like if you have titanium back, for example, and you can't find a guy to freak it, or you don't want to freak it, I could theoretically make this same sleeve in titanium and press it in, and then rebarrel your barrel down to a usable size. Custom anode stuff, or very rare stuff that goes along with the market, you don't want to cut it, we can press this in and it can get pressed out. It doesn't actually affect the barrel at the end of the day. Stainless steel stuff, obviously, it's kind of hard to freak sometimes. Shit that's not like round enough to get freaked, like a lot of Bob Long stuff, some Platinum Eclipse stuff I found. This would be a good solution for those things. Or even just a barrel kit. If you have a barrel kit and you just want to bring down like the 692 or whatever to a usable or to a very low size without freaking it and carrying freak inserts, this is a semi-permanent solution for that. To press in a very thin sleeve of brass or titanium. And I think that could end up being very useful in the grand scheme of things for stuff. And even I'm thinking more like older Nelson type guns, like old tracers, where it's too thin to freak it. We could do something like that. And those kind of markers, Nel spots themselves, or PGPs, stuff like that. That is fixed barrel. This could theoretically work on stuff like that too. Pressing in a very thin sleeve into that stuff, because I have a pretty good way to do this right now. So it's definitely something to explore. It's pretty custom, but something to look at, something to explore down the line. But anyway, I'm super happy with how this one turned out. I'm going to make a couple more of these when I get some time and start rolling this idea around in my head a little more. All right, guys, this is Andrew at FloryPB. Thank you.